Ivan or Nico?
No comment.
Well, let's go into the ban phase. Oddity to ban out the Maverick. Pretty common ban here on Clubhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there is just so many reinforcements that are essential on this map. You want to ban out one of the hard breaches, at least typically. I think the other day when we saw Clubhouse and none of the hard breaches were banned, we saw all three played.
Yep, Capitao ban once again. We didn't see much Capitao last map, even though he wasn't banned, did we?
That's true. We saw Copper try it once or twice, but it is quite map specific. You know, we were talking about where the specific spots on the previous map where it would have been relevant. Here on Bank, there are so many of those spots. You know, top of Catwalk in Cache, on the Bandit Trick position in Cache. We've got the blue. There are so many positions where that Capitao can really be the difference maker. So TBA will be happy that they won't have to deal with that.
And followed up by a mirror ban, of course.
I mean, talking about that Valk ban, we saw how prevalent she was in our first two matches today. Run out central for Mindfreak on Coastline. But TBA don't want to deal with that at all. They've banned them out twice. Maybe a bit worried about Oddity's information gathering.
Well, they're going to be starting off upstairs, CCTV, cash room, dev. That's one of those bomb sites where it's kind of 50-50 where they're going to start, isn't it? Well, yeah, almost like 33, 33, 33. Some people like to take bedroom.
Yeah, especially ANZ. We've seen a lot of favour for bedroom in ANZ. As we see the final picks. Frost not stuck by God Legion. He just uses it to hide the Echo pick. I expect perhaps that's going to be a hard hold inside of the Catwalk, Garage. Maybe using those Echo drones as just mobile cameras.
I'm surprised that we aren't really seeing any of those denial operators banned, like the Echo or the Maestro, right?
Like, yeah, it's 2 games in a row.
Yeah, both times it's been Valkyrie and Mira on defense bans.
And that's the thing, you know, when the when the Maestro and the Echo, you know, when either of them are on the table, you have to be much more time efficient because it takes a substantial amount of time to deal with that utility. And, well, when they're both on the table, it's very difficult for the attack. There's just so many steps in an attack.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everything from walk towards the building to drone out a certain position, take map control, clear aroma, open up the wall, you know.
And you're in a frost mat.
Yeah, and you're in a frost mat or you found a lesion mine in your foot.
Yeah.
Just having to deal with those Echoes and Maestros, huge headache.
Yeah, there is quite a lot of variables that have to be dealt with. It looks like TBA are going to start off by trying to open the door here. Going to see if there's a bandit tricker there. There is indeed one bandit.
Yep, now with the Capitao ban, it'll be much more difficult to flush him out of this position. You can't.
Are you going for the middle?
Counter the bandit trick like this.
Unless they're going to use the...
Oh yeah, there that's perfect. So that's exactly what Empire did in the grand final at the Milan Pro League finals. Simple Zofia concussion charge through the drone hole will cancel the bandit animation of deploying that battery. I love it.
Well worth the utility. So 1 minute down and they've already made their first step. Copper going to start entering from the other side of the top floor from the west. As Luna's also going to join him, dropping into log. You call it log or just logistic?
I always call it logistic.
Yeah.
But I'm all for shortening out callouts. That's why I often call the diffuser kit, just because it's so fast.
Not bomb, you know.
Most people do that, but I feel like it's just technically incorrect because the bombs are the things you're trying to defuse.
It is technically incorrect, but it just...
It's intuitive.
Yeah.
But like if you say they're on bomb, then are they on like the actual physical bomb or are they on the diffuser? Right? Whereas kit doesn't have that misconception. Anyhow. Oh, perfect. That's one Maestro device down. Nice little Thatcher grenade to help with that.
This is such a good collapse we're seeing here from TBA.
Yeah, and it's really great to see, isn't it? You know, I'm surprised after that lackluster performance on map number 1. I was concerned about moving in to map number 2, but they come out in full swing. 50 seconds to get this execute going.
Oh, God Legion really wants to peek this, doesn't he? He knows exactly where the thermite is, but oh, Vicious is going to find him. He wasn't in as much cover as what he thought he was. So the first one going to Oddity, and Luna will also pick up Vinny with a Claymore. We're going to see the flank attempted by Vast through Garage. Looks like Todd might try and join him as well, as we are entering the final 30 seconds of the round. Are we going to see Vast make his way on through the rotate? He's going to find Fisho Guy first. So we're going to see it down as there's 2 more kills come on out. Oh, Arnie looking the wrong way is going to go down as Diffuser's picked back on up. Are we going to see another clutch here?
No.
Vast is in a position to do just that. It's going to fall all the way back. Diffuser's dropped 2 seconds. 1 second. Goes for the peak.
Oh my God!
Oh.
How are you doing this to me, Oddity?
What was that? 1 on 4?
He was the only player on his team to find a kill at all. Wasn't he?
Yes.
That Vast single-handedly saves an entire round. I mean, TBA were looking so good. I was saying, you know, I was worried that coming off that first map, they would be a bit thrown. And here we have it. Look, there's 1 kill. The 1 kill that was really essential. It was such a risk here. It was worried about getting pre-fired around that corner. Wow.
It's a hard knock life for TBA.
Yeah, mate. It's difficult day for TBA, but hey.
Yeah, that rhymes.
Yeah, it does. It's yeah, you got to keep carrying on. As we head downstairs, TBA will have to change up their strategy. No Maverick means they'll struggle to deal with these KE charges. A Thermite charge and a Thatcher grenade is the easiest way to deal with a KE charge. The Hibana with the longer fuse time makes it much easier to KE trick, but there are only those 2 Electric Claws, so Vast will have to make some decisions about where he wants to place them.
He has to budget it.
That's right.
We always talk about utility economy, and now that we've got utility budgets, like first quarter of this round.
Is that just an excuse to make another spreadsheet?
Yeah.
You know I like my spreadsheets.
I know you love your spreadsheets, Dev.
What do you reckon about the AUG over the, I don't even know what it's called, this SC...
The shotgun.
Yeah, the shotgun. SCB something, something, something. What do you feel? AUG's had a bit of a buff recently, not as bad as it once was, but still very low rate of fire.
You know, I've never tried the AUG.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I've hardly played the AUG either.
I just like the oomph of the shotgun, especially with the suppressor. Oh, there's someone under the stairs! God Legion, hello!
Oh my God! Yes! God Legion with a double kill. That's Diffuser down. 2 free kills. A drone could have made so much difference there, but a single misplay from TBA is likely to completely dismantle their entire push. That's half their hard breach utility gone.
Is this the downward spiral we're about to see?
Have to be a salvage for the last 3 players. Vicious, only 1 Thermite charge remaining. He'll have to think long and hard about where he wants to expend this utility. It's not cheap.
That's a tilter, that's for sure.
It's 2 key players as well. Arnie, the primary entry fragger. Fisho Guy, one of the big fraggers for TBA as well.
And Fisho Guy on that Hibana who'd be opening up all these hatches as well. It's a big play.
All right, final piece of hard breach deployed. Oddity should know that nothing else is vulnerable. They don't have to worry about this church wall, any other hatches that haven't been opened, any dirt tunnel potentially. It's all safe and snug now. A minute 18 to go, and the only way I see this going in favor of TBA is if we see some very astounding entries.
Yeah, Copper's still up. We could see him go absolutely beast mode. There's the first one. Luna's going to find it. You know, they're only 1 person at a deficit now. Got to try and bully their way into the bomb site.
1 step closer, but with that Maestro down, also, he won't be able to turn those Evil Eye cameras to more useful positions. That said, TBA are the ones who have to make the first move. Copper, that's a great shot onto red. Still, God Legion unaccounted for. This wouldn't be the first time in this round that TBA have made the same mistake. God Legion could clean up this round, but Todd may well beat him to it as the Jaeger finds 1 kill. God Legion finds his 3rd for the round. It's just poor Luna left. She's found 1 kill so far, but 20 seconds, and really what does she have going for her? Not much at all. She'll find the first kill onto God Legion, 18 seconds. Very wary about all of these extra angles she has to be cautious of. 18 in the mag, and Todd goes down as well. This is suddenly doable. Vast, the last man standing. He's hiding, and he takes down Luna. Oh, it was so close, but Oddity just barely secure the round.
Oddity, they managed to look like they might have weathered the storm that God Legion put them in at the very start, but they're going to be dragged back by the Kraken at the end there.
My, can you imagine if they had lost that round and Todd had just run into that Claymore and that had been the reason they lost the round? Can you imagine that?
Well, you know, I spoke about tilters earlier and...
Yeah, man. God Legion, I don't know how he does it. He just... You know, I feel like, you know, you could do that 1,000 times, what he just did, and it'd work once. God Legion does it in a Pro League match, and it works. Maybe he just did it 999 times in casual first, and then he jumps into the Pro League match. I don't think statistics works like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I'm not one to speak from authority, but yeah, God Legion got a 3K that round, the only 3 kills he's got. Look at the...
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at the difference between these two teams. 1 kill.
Yeah.
1 kill.
8 and more kills on the side of TBA. You know, that's 8 versus 7 at the moment. And we're looking at 2-0. You know, you'd expect that that'd be maybe 1-1 or TBA is barely winning. But no, Oddity has quite convincingly got the victory thus far. They've just run 9 straight rounds.
It's a good way to think of it, isn't it, Dev? It's not a good way, but...
Not if you're TBA.
It's a good way to put it into perspective, I'll be clear.
Yeah, and I mean, TBA have gotten so close time after time. And in the last 9 rounds, there have been 2 of them which they had full advantage of and lost in a clutch to one single player from the opponent.
Camera going to be taken on out.
Big woo.
What's the strategy here for TBA?
Yeah, well, we're looking at this bedroom defense. No alibi pick, no castle pick. Common staples for this bomb side, but Oddity opting for something much more familiar for what they've seen so far. Oh, okay, that's a nice denial of the bandit trick. Copper just team killed, unfortunately. He had a bug that wasn't fixable. Fisher guy takes him down.
Alright, and I believe we will be heading for a rehost, Dev.
Go.
So put your brightest smile on.
You ready for it?
Are you?
I'm getting ready. All right.
I'm still doing my hair. You're still doing your makeup.
Okay, I'll put my my shirt back on. We'll get ready. Get ready for the broadcast so you can come see us again. We'll be back in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2 rounds for Oddity. 2 rounds. One that TBA should have won, and one that hung in the balance.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, God Legion was the single player that really made that possible in round number 2. It was very close to not working out at the end of it, thanks to some good entries from TBA and Todd running into a Claymore. No offense, Todd. I just like giving people a hard time sometimes. You can't hold that against me. Like,
it's not like I've ever ran into a Claymore.
No, me neither. Never, not once. Yeah. But that really just strikes me. Looking at 8 kills on the TBA side, and then on the other side we got 7 for Oddity, and it's 2-0 their way.
Yeah, it just shows how unimportant kills are in winning rounds. As you said, the only stat that matters is the one that's at the top of your screen underneath your team's name.
Yeah. And look, I think Oddity have certainly learned that lesson. You know, the way that they play, they're always playing not necessarily for the kill, but for the win. You know, they know when to peak, they know when not to peak, they know when they've made an impact, they know when they need to be patient.
Your fangirl was showing, by the way.
Thanks. Look, TBA have done some good stuff too. I've got to say, TBA have a knack for finding kills when they shouldn't. Like on that downstairs attack, what was it, 3v5, and they just kept pick after pick after pick. Peeking on inside into church and into armory. They should not have found those kills, and yet they did.
You were just saying a second ago that Oddity know when to run away and when to hide and
well,
not
maybe
peek.
not. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, I thought they did, but yeah, then it started to slip away. A bit of a, I don't know, got ants in your pants when you think you're so far ahead.
You got peekers fever.
Yeah.
Just got to get your head out there and see what's happening.
It's a hard lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you lose your head too many times and your teammates start screaming at you, I think you learn it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, we still had, it was only just over 50% in favor of Oddity for the community vote, and we're still sitting at like 31 for TBA. It's hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
I can't close it out yet. You know, we're also looking at the fact that Oddity are on their defenses at the moment.
And, you know, we've seen, was it this squad that was 6-0 up and managed to lose 8-6?
Was it TBA who did that? Or was it Oddity?
It was, I know it was against Darksided, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, I think it was a team with Todd in it, or maybe it was against August.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we've seen it before of defenses being super one-sided on this map.
Yeah, who knows? And look, I've got to say, you know, TBA absolutely bounced back after that 7-0 loss on map number 1. Their first attack in this round was so well organized.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They nearly had that victory.
It was a perfect slow collapse onto a bomb site, and, you know, just the heroics from Vast is what stopped them from winning it.
Yeah, and look, TBA have been pretty methodical. That last round on the basement, not a great example because God Legion threw a wrench in the works right at the start. But next up, we know that we're heading to Bedroom. We know a vague idea of what operators will be looking at. TBA seem to be quite organized. You know, they have things prepared, like they're countering the bandit trick by using the Zephyr. It's a great method to make things work. They've got Thatcher and Zephyrs really... It's going to work in terms of the
little
bandit
synergy
trick.
things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's look, TBA look very organized, and the score may be one side at the moment, but certainly not over yet. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ends up going the full distance, and I don't know. I'm feeling a tie right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, any thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking it's going to be another Oddity win.
Okay.
You know, even though I want you to be wrong. Like, I know you're barracking for Oddity on the inside.
What do you mean? Just because I told Siege G it was going to be win-win and I want to be right on Siege G. Look, I had a really good performance in my NA predictions today. I got 3 out of 4. And everyone got wrong the last one. What was it? It was Dark Zero, 92 Dream Team. What an upset. 7-1.
Yeah, which is kind of what we saw last match, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. 7-0. But I guess we had expected, like, Dark Zero is a team that went to Milan. Like, Oddity didn't go to Milan. We're not talking about, like, this level of... Yeah. Anyway, upsets happen in the Pro League, especially in this best-of-1 format. Anyhow, TBA versus Oddity. We're about to head back into game, and we are on Cash. No, we are on Bedroom with a Cash setup. That makes more sense. I was very confused for a moment.
Yes, indeed. We are back into the game. Oh, Luna keeping her drone hidden. You know, I might have to go and try this org now. That's what I'm...
I've been deleted by it in matchmaking before, so I think it's decent. Must be pretty good if it can kill me. I know that you would be laughing at me for that comment, but you were busy drinking, so... I only said it for your reaction, Monkey.
No, Dev, you're not funny. Oh,
thanks.
SMH, my H.
I know, ANZ casters.
Yeah.
Trying to be funny. On the main channel now. Gotta be a big boy.
No fun allowed.
That's exactly right. Welcome to Rainbow Six. Just joking.
All right, yeah, that's enough jokes, Dev.
Yeah, I need to stop trying, don't I? All right, let's talk about this round. It's a Bedroom defense. We already know, at least vaguely, what TBA are up to. We know they're going to open up that jacuzzi wall.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the thermite on the floor from CCTV towards Cash.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Opens up some low holes, something we've seen Auglis use to very high level of success.
Oh, we're going to see the smoke babes tossed all the way over as well, just to stick on the roof.
Prevents you from placing a thermite charge right there. It looks like we won't see the thermite charge on the floor. The floor has been opened, so you can't place the thermite charge on the floor. For those who don't know, that thermite charge on the floor can often open up part of the reinforced wall. And wow, how does God Legion get away safely into construction?
It was the timing issue there.
Still, that is Cash control successful. And it looks like Jacuzzi balcony is open as well. Still, Oddity have a good foothold in logistic. Oddity, rather Vast, protected by that deployable shield. TBA making pretty good time.
Yeah, minute 20 on the clock. They've definitely made the first couple of steps they want to make in this round. Do see the Legion in logistics, or at least they see the shield there, so they can assume someone will be behind there. No frag grenades on the board to flush that one out. Oh, Arnie, he just looks away last second. There's someone peeking from the main stairs there.
Just holding still for Oddity at the moment, and Vast playing in logistic does find the one player, I believe that was on that logistic hatch. Luna punished, there you go.
Yep.
Actually prone, peaked. TBA still 4 men up.
See, this kind of position is where you really need some frag grenades.
Yeah, Oddity just playing safely in some of these positions, and on account of that Capitao ban, as you mentioned, frag's really the only thing to flush them out of those positions. No vertical play, it's very difficult to go into the bar and flush out those positions from below, so they'll have to rush inside. There we have it. Arnie making the first entry, and everything's going for TBA as well. Red knows he now has to make a move up. This Maestro is position revealed, 2 players on those stairs. In fact, this could be denied from below. Todd needs to find these shots, it's too late. No, it's not. Todd finds the kill onto Copper, and defenders win. He's the last player alive, and once again, Oddity steal away a clutch.
This just keeps happening for TBA, doesn't it? Oh no.
Oh, poor Copper. Let's see that again. Man, he was missing every bullet and then finally one hit the head.
Yeah. It's a tough pill to swallow, isn't it?
Yeah, can we get some Fs in the chat for TBA, especially for Copper? You can tell he's kind of had it by now.
TBA or TBF?
I don't know, TBH.
TB nice.
Oh, well. Well, we've made the full rotation onto Esports. Pivoting now back onto Cash. Worked out well for them last time. That said, we saw how well TBA took this objective, you know, opening up this main wall. That Zofia charge doing an excellent job. I wonder if there are ways you can counter that that Zofia charge. I believe I saw, was it Team Empire actually placed a castle barricade in that main doorway between the drone hole and the bandit trigger so that the area of effect of the Zofia charge didn't project through.
I've got one for you, Dev.
Yeah.
ADS.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a Thatcher, which they're using to get rid of the bandits on the wall, so unfortunately that won't work.
Surely you could put the ADS further down the hallway and it would be further out of the range of the ADS.
Well, that's what Oddity
have
done. Of the Thatcher, I know what you mean. That's what Oddity have done. I don't know if it'll work. I wonder if you put one of your players standing right next to the drone hole, will it make the concussion detonate while it's kind of still in the drone hole and potentially the area of effect won't go to the bandit?
Well, I'm thinking as well, if they're standing right next to the drone hole, they might just die.
Yeah, but you just gotta, you know, dance it a little bit. We'll see what TBA work away with. Well, that's a long-range shot with the Hibana pellets opening up that angle in the garage.
I really like Fisho's sense of fashion with that gun skin there.
The zebra skin?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm not a fan personally. I love the seasonal skins. I love that that big bright one that we keep seeing everywhere. I think it's the Wind Bastion one. Finally, the wall is open. That bandit trick denied, and with it, TBA have primary opening into the bomb site.
Yeah, but now they're going to have to capitalize off it. You don't win a round just by opening up the reinforcement. You got to do things with it.
That's right. Last time we did see a lot of good master bedroom and construction presence. That said, this time Oddity have changed the way that they're holding construction. They haven't reinforced the wall that was previously Hibana open, and they're extending their hold further into the master bedroom.
Are they just going to jump in through these windows? I feel like that might be what the plan is at this point.
It's a huge risk with so many Oddity players ready to receive, but TBA are slowly and surely removing that utility. Those Maestro turrets now taken out. A little bit more information gathering on the objective. Maybe what's needed. Copper finds the first entry, and we have players inside the bomb site. Todd's still below. If he has information, he could deny from below again, but no, here's a good trade. Arnie does some more damage in the bomb site, and things looking so good for Oddity. Plant denied by Vinny. Still so much time to work with. It's just a bloodbath. 2 versus 2. Still a minute on the clock.
Yeah, I see what TBA are trying to do there, but it does seem pretty ill-advised. Oh, Vicious doesn't have the reaction speeds to find that shot either, but they should be able to get the plant down if they can just get on top of that diffuser. There we go. Have they got the information? Are we going to see another through-the-floor shot coming out here?
No information. They're shooting blind, and plant goes down. Still a possible retake. We have 2 players up with 2 great guns. Bit of damage done to 2 players, 1 from either side, and Todd and Vast looking to pinch this one. Vast knows he has a lot of angles to deal with, and Luna will deal with him. 2 kills for her in the round. Just Todd remaining a 1 versus 2. We've seen him do this and better, but he's got 2 players to find, and one's on a very, very safe rappel. He finds the first player. This is still doable. Oh my God, Todd! Once again, Oddity Esports for the 4th time in the series, a clutch against TBA, and they are still flawless 11 rounds in a row.
Can TBA just find a round? I swear, if it's a 1v5 in TBA's favour, they're losing that round. No ifs, buts, whatevers, what have you. Oddity Esports have got a blessing on them today.
And TBA are playing so well. That's
Yes.
the problem.
Yes.
That's the problem. They're just doing everything right. And then we see these moments where Oddity turns everything against.
Oh, this was nice, wasn't it, from Vinny?
2 kills. A lot of damage onto the Thermite as well, which certainly helped in this final engagement for Todd.
Did it? Wasn't it a headshot?
I don't think so. The Thermite's the one close up, right? Yes?
Yeah, headshot.
Oh, there you go. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wrong.
Slither of HP. The difference in that round, 5 HP. Even a Twitch drone can do more damage than that.
It's crazy. I can't believe that we're still looking at a 0 in the TBA column.
This is one of those matches where you can say the scoreline doesn't reflect how close the match was.
Yeah, I mean, this is still on the cards for a 14-0. And that doesn't reflect the fight that TBA have given up.
Yeah, like maybe Bank as 7-0 is kind of justified. Like there was a 1v4 on that.
Yeah, it feels like a 7-1, but yeah, man, this map. TBA have the hard struggle of attacking first, and they've been doing so much right. My main question is, when they flip onto the defense, which in theory should be a more comfortable side, is their mind going to be in the right place to take advantage of that?
Feels like Oddity are just receiving divine intervention or something like.
You know, they're you know, take my power. Whoever's the last man standing, instantly, you know, 300% better aim, 500% game sense.
Yes, in the clutch ability portion of the ranking.
Pengo's been individually blessing all of these players from Oddity.
Well, I don't know what it is. There's something in whatever Raven's feeding him. You said Korean barbecue?
Yeah, K-Barbie is pretty good. Never doubt some K-Barbie.
It's the official esports food of Australia, or so I hear.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
maybe it's the fact that we have a team that spent some time in Melbourne. You know, everyone knows it is the best.
Right.
Everyone knows it's the best city in Australia. So.
And TBA had a date in Sydney last week, didn't they?
That's right. This is Melbourne versus Sydney right here.
Oh,
it
yeah.
makes sense.
Does it?
DevMata has just made enemies of the majority of the Australian audience in the chat.
As someone that's from neither of those cities, I don't care. Well, hunting the roamers. The Jackal has told them that there is one over in Strip Club.
Surely this is a free kill. We shouldn't see TBA lose a single player from this, and that's how it pans out. Good job from TBA, clearing out that roam. That said,
Although
Gold Legion does find Copper. Eventually there is a refrag. This is a far cry from what we saw in the previous round on this bomb site, where Gold Legion was allotted 2 free kills early in the round with no response.
I love it. You just shove another Ubisoft titles into the cast. This is an Assassin's Creed game, isn't it?
What did I say?
Far Cry.
Oh, really? Yeah, totally deliberate.
Well, 50 seconds on the clock. It's a one-man advantage here for Oddity. They've only lost the 1 to the 2. Sorry, one-man disadvantage to Oddity. TBA have only lost the 1 to the 2.
Yeah, but it's the smoke operator. Flashbang's coming in, putting some pressure onto Red. He's actually really
It's just going
concerned
in.
that he's getting pushed up. He takes the first player out. He gets 2 kills on the position. TBA only have 1 man standing, and it's the support, Vicious. He doesn't last long. Vinny for 2 as well. Oddity Esports continuing their reign of terror. TBA can't find a single damn thing.
Oh, so you think you're going to have an advantage in a round? Think again. Oddity Esports strikes again.
We're really on the rhymes tonight, aren't we?
Well, again and again rhyme together, of course.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of obvious, I guess. But my
look
goodness.
at the kills rain there. It was left, right, good night.
Oddity really have taken us on a journey today, taken us on an odyssey, if you will.
Not an oddity.
No, an oddity odyssey at the moment. The trials are rising, and sorry, I'm trying to see how many Ubisoft games I can reference.
We're left with some pretty sinister tidings at the end here.
Yeah, it's a it's a tough road for TBA from here.
Sinister road.
Sinister road. Oh well. You know, Oddity has been putting up a hell of a fight, and every time TBA thinks they can pull the wool over their eyes, Oddity says, "Nuh-uh."
Is there a mercy rule in Siege?
Well, like that game Mercy, where you like the
mercy rule. You know, I'm not really familiar with baseball, but I think if the team's if a team's got a big enough lead, they just say, yeah, that's
forfeit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. At least that's what happens in Wii Sports, and I'm an authority on that.
Thank you, Monkey Fist. All right, let's talk a little bit about this round. This is a spawn peak and a half. This is insane. A single 50 cal, is it 50 cal on the Magnum?
0.44, is it? That's what it says
yeah,
on the side.
I should probably read the screen. 0.44, bullet hole. Nah, not gonna find it. Oh well.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite spawn peaks to try, but no one really ever just runs down there anymore.
It's not quite like it used to be, eh?
No.
Oh well. Last round for Oddity on their defense. They've changed up their defense strategy again. Something we saw from them on Bank. They have multiple setups for the same site. Instead of playing their smoke inside of Cache, it's now a Kaid. Instead of playing a, I don't know what they were playing previously, but they have a castle they did not have before. TBA doesn't find much trouble with them though.
Well, they have opened up Jacuzzi nice and early. No attempt to really deny that at all, but Copper has taken some damage for his troubles elsewhere on the map. You know, you see that Claymore down by outside a strip? Like, it's not really a common run out, really. I don't think I've ever died to someone running out from there. Oh.
I don't know. Occasionally, maybe.
That's a lot of damage done by the breach charge, but Fisher goes looking the wrong way. How has he not died? Todd must have fallen even further back. Yes, he's gone all the way downstairs.
Those breaching charges also have a very concussive effect. So Todd likely decided it was best to just get on out of there. Still, half the round gone. TBA struggling to deal with this cache hold. And Copper eventually gets inside and takes down Vast on site. He really works magic with that hollow site.
Yeah, Copper, we saw him drop 20 frags the other day. He is, can go out of his mind, of course. He's going to come up against God Legion, but no. The shotgun's going to win that one out, but Arnie's there to immediately trade it back. Vinny will find Fisho Guy elsewhere on the map. So we've got a minute to go. Vicious to find Vinny himself. So 3-on-2. TBA are losing this.
This could be the first round. I know you don't have much faith, Monkey. Todd's still below. We saw him deny the plant last time he was defending this bomb site. Red still on the stairs. Very, very little control for Oddity over the bomb site, but we've seen time and time again TBA just can't seem to close out these rounds, and Red starts out the job. Doesn't seem to be any information for the diffuser to be denied from below. Todd needs to go for this full rotation. It's just inside of Master near Logistics. Todd going for the big flank of his life right now. Red just baiting time for Todd to make this push into Logistic. He may well get spotted. There's someone watching for his position. Pushing in Logistic now, he needs to win this fight. No, Luna takes it down. 2 versus 1. Surely Red can't win this.
Woo!
And for the first time in what feels like forever, we have a round on the board.
I feel like this is the time that Copper should write a POG in chat, because I think that's what we might be getting into his chat right now. PogChamp, TBA put one up on the board. It's like close match, wasn't it, Dev?
Yeah. Yay. I remember when there was one of our old national leagues, the ANZ Cup. The grand final was a best of 5, and it was Fnatic versus Mindfreak. And the final score, it was
15-1.
Yeah, 15-1. So at the time it was first to 5.
Yeah.
And the second last round of the entire best of 5 series was the only round that Mindfreak won against Fnatic. And I just remember in chat, I think it was Cutie, just said, yay.
That's what we saw from Vicious just then as well. Yay.
Reminds me of that. Look, we know things are going bad, but finally there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
And they have swapped, and this is what we're talking about. Gym Bedroom first choice bomb site here for TBA.
No Alibi still, and I always thought TBA was one of those teams that did particularly like the Alibi pick. Something I always love on this site. Great to hold inside of Cash, but I guess the K-Eat is just, you've got the impact grenades, you can play that same position, you just use it slightly differently, and so I believe that's likely what we're seeing from Arnie in this case. Now that they switch on to the more comfortable side, TBA may well regain their footing. Perhaps this Bedroom first up pick will throw off Oddity. So they brought quite a versatile lineup.
From how Oddity have been playing, where they're ready for everything almost, I bet you Raven's saying, yeah, they might go Bedroom, boys, and they were not caught by this. So it's surprise.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Still, TBA are on the cusp of losing another 3 points. It's still possible for them to get the 3 points, get the victory, and get themselves up in this series. However, if they drop a single more round, they're limiting themselves to at maximum a draw. Oddity, no strangers to draws, but they certainly don't like them. This is what you were saying the other day.
Yeah, just trying to juggle with the Electro Claw.
Oh, but we're seeing the on-the-floor Thermite charge. A trick that Oddity are certainly familiar with. They countered it themselves, and now they know exactly the position of the player inside of Cash.
Now, I'm surprised that we haven't seen the same adaptation from TBA here.
They seem to not be aware of that Thermite trick.
I think they would be aware of it if they'd come up against it,
But I guess they just didn't have the investment to open up that spot. Arnie really caught in a hard place at the moment, but Oddity not getting too ahead of themselves. They find that kill, and God Legion just narrowly dodges bullets coming his way from the other direction. Yeah,
it's one of those spots where, his life was forfeit. The best he could have hoped for was some teammate support from Connector, but it wasn't happening there, especially because we got the wall at the top of the stairs opened up as well.
Still, it's a lot of time delayed. Finally, Oddity make their entrance into Cash, and information denied now in lieu of that bulletproof. You can see the drones coming out. 3 all the way just to give information for Oddity. So much information.
And that's what we weren't seeing from TBA on their bank especially, wasn't it?
Look at this refrag potential. A drone in front.
Oh,
2 players heading in. What? You droned this position. What are you doing? Luna just gets 2 freebies, but still 2 more players from Oddity file in another reflag, but it may well be too little too late. Todd 1 versus 2. We've seen a lot of clutches this series. Not sure if Todd will be able to pull it off on the attack.
I swear they saw Luna in that corner.
They did, 100%. She took out one of the drones.
Well, either way, whatever happened in logistics, it is a 1-on-2 advantage TBA here.
Time ticking away, 15 seconds left, and Fisher guys locking Todd out of the site. He'll flash one position, goes for a peek, and doesn't even find that first one. Fisher guy locking that out, and look at that. A second round on the board for TBA.
Huzzah. And the crowd went wild.
Yep. Well, it's 2 rounds won for TBA, both of which were on the Bedroom site. We'll have to see whether they can step things up on the other objectives. I really think we can pinpoint the moment where it all fell apart for Oddity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not droning out Luna in logistics. Or
I thought you were talking about in general.
Oh, no.
Like the previous 2 rounds, not just that round.
No, not specifically, but I just mean in that particular round, everything was going well. We talked about that thermite trick on the floor, being patient, taking out Arnie, yeah, maybe running a little bit out of time, but I liked the idea from Oddity. You know, they got the information, they're like, okay, double push this. You know, we're going to refrag. Might lose the first guy, but we're going to refrag, we're going to take logistic, except for the fact that for some reason they forgot Luna was in that corner.
See, I'm guessing that maybe they actually didn't see her.
I'm wondering if they...
Like, tunnel visioned?
Maybe, or they saw her and they thought she rotated out.
Yeah, because if you get droned, you normally want to readjust.
Yeah. Well, they're downstairs for this defense. With Maestro and Echo on the table, both of which we saw heavily utilized by Oddity, TBA opt just for the one. Want to make sure they're bringing that smoke and that lesion. Don't want to give it up. We've also seen a huge amount of Cade play. On this map, you know, Cade really thrives on hatches. I just think it's phenomenal how much Clubhouse has changed, not even just in terms of the map rework, but the way that people interact with those hatches. If you were telling them 2 years ago, it would be, or 3 years ago, it would be a different story. You know, we have impact tricking, we have Cade charges, we have even mute jammers that can jam some of these hatches. It's just incredible, isn't it?
It's just interesting to see how the meta's changed. Like, we were talking about how we'd see Glaz and Ying, and neither of these operators have really changed too much. Like, I suppose Glaz has had a really big change coming into the season, but even on Copper,
it's alright, Monkey, finish your thought. Copper's run away.
Like, you know, even last season we really didn't see much Glaz, even though he used to be like a must pick.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he was banned a lot, but even when he was picked, we didn't see him with a huge success. I don't have the stats on his win rate, but anywho.
Looks like TBA were trying to get ready for an impact trick, but it sounds like, the hatch has been denied.
Already stalling out a little bit. They've just had a bit over a minute to work things out in this action phase, but still haven't made any substantial progress. Yep, see the impact trick is prepped. I think Infinity wants to find a kill on this peak. Oh, so close. In fact, he receives more damage than he deals just due to that impact grenade.
Lights out. He sent over a bit of damage and took some back with a little bit of interest. But Oddity, minute 15 on the clock. They're about to start getting ready for their push. The thermite is going to go off on the wall here. It's going to give them avenues into sight.
Impact trick? Yeah, there you go. Good impact trick. The holes above were prepped. Still, that's potentially 2 kills for Red. That more than makes up for that failed thermite charge. Got another one in the pocket to use. That'll work perfectly. Just 3 players left for TBA. Oddity looking pretty good, but they do have a lot of time to work with as well.
Yeah, 50 seconds on the clock now. The phone call's going to come on out and all the utilities getting expended. Copper is in a pretty precarious position here. Going to see the drop from the hatch. Copper. Can he line up the second one then? No, not quite. Is he aware of the second there? Yes, he is. That's a double for Copper there. Diffuser was attempting to get planted. Going to go for another attempt as well.
What?
Copper with his third. Copper is going absolutely nuts in blue right now.
This has been flipped on its head, and that echo drone from Luna gathering so much information. Red wants to finish this plant. I don't believe there's any more charges left on the Yokai. Vast the lone man to cover, and there's a flank as well. Copper gets taken down, and there you have it. Just by the skin of their teeth, TBA is still in this game.
Copper really flexing there, wasn't it? 4 kills in the round. You know, TBA were looking down and out. You know, 2 men down that, died to something rather silly, didn't they? And Copper just stepping up big in blue.
Yeah, you really got to be surprised that he could have that much of an impact from that position. You know, 3 kills from blue, 2 people trying to take him in blue, and 1 player, was it all into church through the wall? That really shouldn't be happening, but gotta give your hats off to Copper for making it work. Led to Cash now. It's the final defense that we haven't seen. Final objective for TBA.
Are we seeing TBA winning this 7-5?
Oh, man. Imagine the heartbreak for Oddity.
It'd be revenge for last season and, I suppose, the previous match.
It would. And I think that there's a lot of TBA fans that would be gunning for that. You know, we saw, despite that 7-0, 31% stuck behind TBA in the poll voting.
Well, round number 9 here. What kind of course will we be served up by the chefs of TBA and Oddity? It's a bit of a MasterChef Royal Rumble.
You know, most people watching won't know what MasterChef is.
Really?
You reckon?
I don't know.
It's just an Aussie thing, right?
Yeah, but like,
it's a show in Australia.
but you still know what a cooking show is.
It's
like,
everywhere. Production is telling me. Oh, thanks, production.
come on, Dev. Even I knew that. I was just humouring you.
Oh. All right, let's have a look at this round then. Not happening in the kitchen, unfortunately, for our MasterChef fans out there. It's in Garage where we'll see the majority of the work, but no doubt I'm sure they're cooking up a storm.
It's one of those cooking in weird places challenges.
Oh. Yep.
Well, so it looks like they're attempting a pretty heavy garage hold here.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that we're seeing Fisho in this position. Perhaps he's trying to impact trick. Is that going to work? Nope, he's going to get flushed out. Oh,
He thought it worked, and there's got to be someone by the garage door. He is not safe in this position.
Look at him.
He is feeling like a rabbit in the headlights, and he's going to get on out of there.
Still, he has the potential to do some damage. No more impacts left that he could potentially use to destroy a claymore and go for a run out. But he gets away with his life, which is more than I had expected.
Wait, how did Todd take so much damage? Would that be from Fisho?
Could well have been that he peeked into Luna. No, actually, you might be right. It must have been from Fisho, I guess. No, maybe peeking up through the top holes towards someone on the...
potentially.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's the very lit up Hibana. Copper's just running around anywhere. He could go for that strip run out from the main lobby, run out from pool. A lot of options for him at the moment, and I think that because Oddity haven't really mounted the pressure yet, Copper's feeling like he has the freedom to do so.
Well, oh, they've seen Copper on the roam as well. Drone not discovered underneath the vending machine. He's well aware of all these angles he might be engaged from. But if he keeps backing up, he might run into one from mini stock. Benny just holding that one down.
50 seconds left. We haven't seen a ton from Oddity. They've just been doing all the defaults. They got some good control, but a lot of players are taking substantial amounts of damage. 3 of them are a mere bullet away from their demise. TBA all up and healthy as well.
Yeah, 30 seconds. We got the smoke right around the corner.
No!
He's just allowed to walk right onto site. We're going to see Fisher Guy with the down to finish Vinny off. Smoke Babe's going to come on out, and they are all over by Connected. They're going to get stalled out. Todd has found Copper, however. Fisher Guy will finish Vast off with that smoke. And 15 seconds. They're going to have to try and make their way through this choke point.
Still no garage control, and that really restricts what Oddity can do. This is surely not a plant that can work. God Legion, he's being relied upon to cover, but he's taken out. There's the plant denial as well. Finishing it off is Luna onto Todd, and TBA, this is quite a comeback. We're almost looking at even Stevens.
4 in a row for TBA. It looked like it might have been all over when they were 5-0 down. What was it, 12-0 in total, wasn't it?
That's right. You just have to think about the immense fortitude of TBA to lose 12 rounds in a row, and then come back and say, look, actually on our defenses, we know what we're doing.
And back to Jim. We've gone full circle here. Not around the world, but we visited most of the continents.
Around the club.
Yeah. Around
Seeing
the
all
club
the sites.
house.
The clubhouse.
The clubhouse.
It's a club, like you can call it. Oh, that around the house, around the club. I don't know. I guess club is the adjective there, so house would be the noun. But around the house just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. How about around the building?
Wow, you got to be so vanilla, don't you?
And how about around the bar?
Yeah, I like that. Plans for later tonight?
Hey.
Nothing.
No, I've got a date with a bed and a pillow.
Alright, it's bedroom again. right where you want to be heading after this match.
Oh, yeah.
TBA chose it as their first choice bomb site.
So on their third, fourth round of defense, that's where they've ended back up again.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And looks like they've changed up some of their setup around Cash. Instead of trying to hard inside of Cash, which didn't work quite so well last time with Arnie on the Kaid, in lieu of Oddity's Thermite charge on the floor, TBA have completely changed the way that they're interpreting that bomb site, which I love.
Yeah, taking CCTV control as well. It's not the worst idea in the world.
Still a player aggressive in here as well. You really need to hold on to this portion of the map so that you can control that window on the west side that peeks all the way out onto this balcony outside Master and Jim. That's why it's so important to hold on to, and these reinforcements on the garage will help Copper. He only really has to worry about that window, but here God Legion removing those bandit batteries. It's not very likely Copper will be able to go for a bandit trick, and Redland should be able to open up some holes in this wall.
Yeah, drones are getting discovered though. Here comes that first Thermite. Big hole coming right up.
Lots of information onto Cash as well. We do see a lot of drones coming in from Oddity, which is great, but the risk is always, are they losing those drones as they approach?
Oh, good eyesight.
Speaking of losing drones, it's one of Luna's gone bye-bye.
It was like perfect falling back from TBA. Like maybe they could have wasted a bit more time, but as soon as the drones came in, they were falling back as Copper's going to find the first kill, but God Legion will trade back Luna.
That's dangerous. That's the Plantanile eliminated for TBA. We still have Vicious, so some good information on the bomb side, but Copper's downstairs last seen, and he has that C4 as well, so if it comes down to the dire moments of this round with Oddity going for a plant, he could rotate downstairs and utilize that C4 for Plantanile. He does pick up his shock wires and go and replace that onto the jacuzzi wall, which is yet to be opened as well.
And has Thatcher used all his EMPs?
Yeah, Oddity has a lot of work to do still.
Oh, they're going to take over logistics here. Oddity, oops, God Legion going to hit himself with that shock as the smoke comes on out. Vinny forced back as well. No path into logistics right now for Oddity. Oh, there's going to be the peak from Arnie, which God Legion is going to win. Worried about any follow-up, so getting the pre-fires going. Vinny's downed, and Todd will find Fisho, guy. What's happening?
Copper's also wasted his C4 now without a kill. Just 2 players left, and one of them's Copper offsite with no C4, but no, that's the fuser dropped by Red as Vicious finds that one. He's under a lot of pressure now, and it's only Copper left against 3. It's still a potential for a clutch, but he has all the information he needs to make it happen. He's going to wait as long as possible and then deny this plant. He could not be in a better position right now, except for there's that wall. He can't get the shots to the wall. He eventually finds God Legion 1 versus 1, and Vinny on a sliver of HP, but through the bookcase, Copper goes down, and Oddity regain their lead immensely onto match point.
How does he land this? It's just a pre-fire into his last known position. I have no idea how that landed, but that is going to be Oddity putting themselves under match point.
For all this work that they've done to come back from that 12-0 deficit, TBA surely can't lay it to rest here.
I think Vinny was a bit surprised that he actually landed that.
Everyone was. That was a nutty shot.
Well, it looks like TBA do want to change up where they're going. They're going to church this time, Dev.
Yeah, well, that was their second choice bomb site after Bedroom. So they're just going to continue that cycle around the world. Perhaps trying to make it look like they were going for Bedroom and using that Pulse. I don't know, Pulse could indicate downstairs as well. Anyhow, they're just going to pick the Kaid.
Yeah, well, TBA, best they can hope for is a draw. Now they need to fight back the last 2 rounds. Although, when you're in this situation, you got to think a draw is better than a loss, isn't it? I'd rather have one than none.
Well, that's exactly what Oddity were thinking last season when these teams faced off, and it was on this very map, and the scores were reversed. Oddity crawled it back to a draw. They definitely want to close it out in this round. They've switched up, gotten rid of the Dokkaebi in favor of an IQ. If you recall, last time TBA won this bomb site, it was pretty much just thanks to Copper inside of Blue, landing some insane shots. Anyone trying to push into Blue was taken out, and He even managed to have an impact on Church as well.
So how many clutches do you reckon Oddity have had this matchup? I think it's 4.
Well, do you count Vinny's 1v1 as a clutch? You got to count that, right?
Yeah.
So I think with 5 then, we'd be looking at. It's hard to count, isn't it? We had Redolent on Bank, 1 versus 4. We've had God Legion with the Vast with the 1 versus 4. God Legion with the 1 versus something. 4 or 5, I think.
Scanning for devices and traps. Bomb located.
Razor wire ready.
A couple of 1v1s, although I suppose we should just call it 1vx more than anything.
Yeah. Is that an Echo drone, I believe? Sorry. Could be, I don't know.
Just,
Yeah, gotta be, I guess. No Valkyrie, so gotta be the Echo drone. We've really seen a lot of Oddity clearing out those yokais. And with no Maestro, TBA are going to be lacking on information in the end of these rounds.
Well, 2 minutes on the clock here on the potentially final round here.
It's great timing, isn't it, for Oddity?
Yeah.
Already cleared out a lot of utility and this map control as well.
You know, they have just been looking so good, this Oddity squad.
The IQ pick has been great for them so far. Taking out that yokai, taking out some Legion mines. Vast looks very much at home on the roll. Impact grenade prepared. Will it take out the thermite charge? Great placement from Redolent. And TBA still at a loss. All of these hatches forfeited now. Oddity in such a good position.
Yeah, it really seems like TBA have been 2 steps ahead pretty much the whole night, doesn't it?
It'll come down to a bloodbath inside of Church. As we saw last time, God Legion kind of put pressure on Blue, but it's a difficult task to accomplish. Still players allowed to roam free inside of Armory. Oddity needs some kind of vertical play to eliminate that, but Fisher guys are getting so aggressive. TBA know that they need to make an impact.
Yeah, Arnie in a very tough position, but if they drop the hatch, there's the crossfires onto it. It's not just about winning a heads-up gunfight. And they can't seem to find the shots for the floor. Looks like they're all, you know, rank and filing up, getting ready for this push on into the bomb site.
This is where it becomes dangerous for Oddity. The time ticking away, 30 seconds now. Still, TBA with 5 men up inside.
Oh, Arnie, he's going to find one with a pistol. As he is getting pressured heavily in Armory. He has 1 HP remaining. I have no idea how he's still alive. Can he get the next one?
way!
Yes, he can. Arnie with the 1 HP kill. It's going to put us into a 5-on-3. Oh, that's going to be Luna found at the back of Armory, however, and Vinny is pushing through dirt, ready to jump on into the bomb site. Nice shot onto Arnie, evening the numbers up, but Copper's there for the immediate trade. Todd jumps down into the bomb site, picks up the diffuser, and is going to start planting. God Legion's in the perfect spot, but oh, it's going to be denied. All the way from Church.
Where was that from?
From the Church prone smoke player, or whoever it was, mute player.
Wow. What an angle. Oddity surely thought that they had that one. It was a bloodbath near the end of the round. A great setup from Oddity, but when it came down to flushing out some of these key positions, Arnie was not to be moved. And he did so much damage before eventually falling.
All right, Dev, so this map has officially been the closest one we've seen.
In the ANZ Pro League so far.
Yes.
We've seen, between the same 2 teams on the same night, the most one-sided match. And the match that'll go the distance. At least, I guess, my prediction that this would be a close night was half true.
Half true. Yeah, I suppose that counts. CCTV, though.
Was their 3rd choice. They don't want to go back to bedroom. Looks like they've changed some things as well. Not familiar with that castle pick. Don't believe they did that last time. Already did struggle on their previous attack of this site. But still, repeatedly, Oddity's attacks, they seem to get into a position where they could potentially plant and then end up losing it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of utility spent over in Garage too. Are they going to reinforce both of them up again? Remember, it was it made Fisho sit in a bit of a hot spot when they tried that earlier.
Yeah, Oddity didn't have too much trouble flushing out Fisho, but he didn't get the kill last time, which then eventually allowed him to continue using his utility. He's changed operators, though. He's moved away from that smoke, now onto a mute. And it looks like TBA have decided this time around they're going to extend their hold further into the master bedroom. Try to deny that jacuzzi wall with some mute jammers. Oddity want to take this, they should be able to. They have all the ingredients too. Thermite and Thatcher. Depends how many of these EMP grenades they're willing to waste on the opposite side of the map.
Well, allowing the drone to make it through that drone hole, I think is a
Kobe.
yeah, a bit of a misplace. Yeah, nice shot.
You can't mute trick that, mate. Oh well, it was a nice thought by Fisher Guy. If Oddity now want to, I think that the key here for Oddity is that they have to consider if they want Master Control now. Because if they think about it late and they want Master Control, they want to go for a construction push, it's going to be too late. They're not going to have the Thatcher and the Thermite and the time to invest in that. Even just opening up the jacuzzi wall could help them out right now. It's going to be very difficult to play on that west balcony if they don't.
Vicious. Oh.
That's a long angle.
Yeah, see the bullets coming through all the way from on top of the catwalk out by Kennels. Look at Copper. Is he going to go for a run out of pool table?
He may well find Vast if that's the case. In fact, he does. No potential refrag either. CIQ gone down.
Oh!
God Legion taken down as well. Things looking good for TBA. The draw is definitely on the cards. Just 3 players left for Oddity. Still plenty of utility to use, but where's the direction?
Where indeed. Minute 15 to play with for Oddity. Gonna have to try and force their way in from somewhere, but you know, it's looking rather bleak.
There's nothing for Oddity to just brutally brute force in except for an entry, and that's what Todd does. Cleans up. Oh my god, Vinny as well jumping into the fray. Things looking a little bit more troublesome as Vicious steps up. Vinny, the last man standing. 3 points on the line for Oddity Esports, and they don't want to find this draw. Vinny's still in the game. 1 versus 2. So much time, but nothing working. He has to pick up that diffuser. Can he find the Maestro as well? No ammunition left. He spots both players. He gets 1 down. So much time. He doesn't have to go for this right now. Oh my god, Oddity with a 7-5 victory. Down to the wire, and clutch after clutch the entire day. Oddity earned their 6 points.
Wow! No way. I don't believe it. There is something in that Korean barbecue, Dev.
What a curse for poor TBA. An amazing performance on map number 2 for the roster, and still it wasn't enough. Even when it came down to the last moments and they had